Hello again, beautiful beings of light. Welcome back to another Q&A as per usual every Sunday morning. If you're new to my channel or this video, then you don't know that only the members can comment in the little chat box. So it's been kind of a crazy morning. I've been in and out of the chat, but welcome everyone. Welcome all of the members and welcome everyone who's not a member and just enjoys free content because that is dope too. I'm wearing a NASA shirt. I love it, even though I know NASA's corrupt and, the whole, what is it called? Bubbles, in space and all of that great conspiracy stuff. Before we dive into your awesome questions, I have a couple of announcements. One is me and my wife will be back in Joshua Tree this coming week. So we're actually leaving today right after my Galactic Federation event, which I'm very excited about, and I hope to see a lot of you there. So just letting you know that the live videos moving forward, thank you, Sherry, for that super chat. You're just so generous and kind, and all of you really are. Wi-Fi is not very great in Joshua Tree, but the views are gorgeous. So I'm hoping to either find my old selfie stick, which I don't know where it is right now, or just buy a new one and film a bunch of videos there. I have like 300 plus topics that I want to get into. So I would love to do, as long as it's not super hot, because it is the desert. But if you are a member, you know that I used to do those, walking around videos in Joshua Tree when we were there during quarantine. So I'm going to get back into doing those and then either posting them to my channel or just posting them to the membership page as well. So just know that more content coming at you guys, and it's going to be really beautiful, kind of scenic desert, scenery and content as well. Oh, also, a lot of you do ask, where do you go when you go to Joshua Tree? So we actually end up going to my wife's mother's place, so my mother-in-law's place. And I just realized that I forgot to wear my ring today, which is fine. It's been kind of a crazy mess. But yeah, and so she actually has a guest house out back on her 6 acres of property in Joshua Tree, and it's an Airbnb. So if you guys ever want to stay where me and my wife stay in Joshua Tree and you're in the California area, then definitely check that out. And, I'll probably be posting a lot of the Joshua Tree Airbnb, the place that we stay, in my Instagram. So if you guys really want to check it out, I'll probably do some swipe ups that'll lead you right to the Airbnb link if you guys are looking to get away, especially outside of LA. Also, I have an epic podcast being released, and even my podcast editor was like, "Oh my goodness, EA, like you said all of the things that, that I've been going through recently." And now I'm trying to remember what topic it was. What topic was it? It was so good. You know what? There's literally so many topics rattling around in my mind, like so much information all the time. Even last night, I was trying to go to bed and I got all of these downloads and I kept picking up my phone and madly typing away. And Nat's like, "Babe, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm writing topics down. Like, what do I don't know. Like, they were so good though. Okay, anyway, so Epic Podcast, my podcast for everyone, is released every Tuesday. So if you want more free content, and right now there's no ads in the podcast, which is really nice. I don't really want to have to monetize the podcast, so it's pretty clean. And a new podcast episode coming out this Tuesday, iTunes, Spotify, all of the major podcast platforms. Okay, also, I need your help. So tomorrow I have a live video. Obviously, it'll be done in Joshua Tree, so pre-apologies for the terrible quality in potentially video or glitches. But I'm really in between 3 big topics. I want to do all of these topics, but what one do you want to hear tomorrow? And don't type in the chat box because I know only members can and I don't read them all during the live. So please comment in this video's description below, and that way I can kind of see how many people are for each topic. So the first topic for tomorrow's video is Jesus. I've been wanting to talk about him for a while. He keeps popping up. Literally in the last week, like I've had 10 people all say, what's your opinion on Jesus? Like, what's your perspective on him? And I have so many perspectives and so many downloads and messages. Not that they are all right or they are the truth, but I have a lot of experience with Jesus. So that's one topic. It has nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. It's just the Ascended Master of Jesus. So the first topic is Jesus. Second topic is the Earth grid system. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of grid workers or healers, or you've seen my Instagram posts about the way that I see the Earth and then the grid system around it. Some people think that it's this prison system planet. But I've actually received many downloads and I've done many lectures, as a matter of fact, on the energetic grid system around planet Earth, where it came from, who put it up there, how we can best utilize it, and what the whole purpose is, and what the future is of the energetic grid system around planet Earth. It's a very fascinating topic. So I've wanted to talk about that for a while as well. And then the third topic, once again, guys, I want you to vote on them and comment in the comment section below this video on which of the three topics you want to see tomorrow. I will do them all eventually, but which ones do you want to see tomorrow? And then the third topic is homeschooling, unschooling, the next generation. So I watched a whole documentary on what unschooling is. I have my own perceptions on it. And I think just being a little starseed myself and also working with many, many parents with starseed, and I don't want to say problem children, but children who do not fit into the normal school setting system. I think that because all parents right now are kind of being forced to homeschool their children, this would be a perfect time to talk about how to properly homeschool or unschool your children away from the system, and what do these starseed children need in order for the best, the best soaking in of the information, right? So all great topics. Jesus, the Earth's grid system, or homeschooling. Which one do you want to see? The ones that either have the most likes or the ones that I see the most comments in with the topics are going to be, the one is going to be picked for tomorrow. So it's up to you guys. All right, let's hop into, and then today I have my Galactic Federation event. If you guys can't attend or you really want to watch it, because it's always pretty powerful, then there will be an opportunity to just purchase the recording after for $11. Not breaking the bank, but definitely some powerful downloads and DNA activations for everyone. All right, so let's start off with Chloe Gomez. Once again, all of these questions are from my members. So thank you, members, for these epic questions, as always. Okay, so when will the corruption imbalances begin to end? The banking, the homelessness, the slaughterhouses, the pollution, the war against drugs, the children stealing, etc. When will we start feeling and truly seeing the world differently and more balanced out? So the timeline that I keep getting is 2024, right? 2020 to 2024 is going to be that timeline where things and everything collapses. And thank you so much, Incarnated Elohim, and everyone for the super chats and donations and really just showing up. But thank you, that was a really generous super chat. Really appreciate that. So when will all the corruption end? And right now, I don't really have an answer for that. I really don't. I know that the timeline that the GFL keeps giving me is between 2020 and 2024, all of the systems on the planet are going to collapse, the systems on the planet are going to collapse, which means downfall, mayhem, rioting, environmental disasters, civil war, civil unrest, right? All of these things are currently happening, and they will continue to happen for the next couple of years. This is the breakdown of the old system, right? So I'm hoping that 80%, maybe even 60% of the corruption that we have seen on this planet completely collapses, is no longer fed, and we can basically rise above that after 2024. It's going to take a while, right? At least those couple of years to collapse everything before we can input new systems. So at a point in time where we start to see the changes of the new systems, that might be 20 years. It takes a while to develop these new systems, but I'll let you know that there are the patents out there. There are the classified documents out there. There are the environmental solution technologies out there. There are the cancer solution technologies out there. We have everything that we need put in place right now, and it's all in a holding pattern. That's what's happening, right? It's like same thing with the reptilian wars, right? I don't know if you guys are up to date or if you've seen my last Galactic Federation channeling, but they are all in a holding pattern right now. They're all just waiting for that moment, that go time. Actually, I want to mention to you, because I was channeling for my friend Sharma, which I think a lot of you know. She does the reptilian work. And so huge downloads came through about the reptilian wars. And it was, it was incredible because she's so connected. And what was it that came through? Oh yeah, they're all holding off as far as when to attack their own species, which is the higher up elites of the reptilians. I know, guys, like if you're just watching this video for the first time and you've never seen my content, like this chick is crazy. And I might be a little bit, in society standards. So basically, there's a huge holding pattern right now for the advancement of the takedown. There are certain things that need to happen in order for the takedown to happen, right? Yeah, very interesting. I also want to just kind of relay my opinion about Trump in this moment. I know it's probably unwarranted, but, he has coronavirus, right? Right when I heard that and the world started freaking out about it, instantly I felt this. This wasn't a grand, download from the cosmos. This was just an intuitive feeling. My intuitive feeling was that it's not that he did or did not have it. Once again, it doesn't matter. It's that he's saying, look over here. Look over here. What's over here? Everything that Trump does is on purpose. We need to realize that. The rest of the world sees him as a puppet, and really, in a sense, he's the puppet master, even though he isn't the grand puppet master or the grand savior, as some people do believe he is. He's at the forward facing, right, in society. I believe that he had to basically dip out and hide away and do some stuff. I don't know what he's doing, but I believe that he needed an excuse to be like, whoa, I can't really do all the conferences and the press stuff and the whatever that I usually do, right? Or maybe they just replaced him with a clone, right? And maybe he decided, let's just put the clone out there while I take down the bad guys, right? Who knows? Once again, I'm not a Trump lover. I'm not even a Trump fan. I just think that we need someone like him to take down or help to take down the system, the current system as it is. Anyway, I know that was unwarranted, but it's just, there's something deeper going on. And I want to say too, one more thing, that I ended up watching a 60 Minutes Australia, which is honestly such a great channel on YouTube, 60 Minutes Australia. And they interviewed Melania Trump. They interviewed Melania Trump's best friend, right? And something that she said, something that I could just take from that interview and say, that's interesting, was, so the interviewer said, well, what do you think about the hand swats, right? So Trump swats Melania's hand away, in public many, many times. And what the best friend said was, don't feed into that. That was all set up. And the interviewer's like, so you're saying that the whole hand swat was just a ploy, it was just set up. And the friend basically alluded to, I don't know what the exact words were, but she alluded to, you need to realize that everything that Trump and Melania do is planned. Everything is thought out in advance. How amazing, how incredible, how devious, how thought-provoking is that? That everything, including the hand swats, are like, okay, tabloids, here you go. Okay, false projection media, here you go. Here's the garbage. And we're going to be over here doing this stuff, right? Just something to think about. I don't have an opinion or perspective on it, just kind of making some statements. Okay, moving on. Elise Glasock. Next question. Okay. The celebrities that sold their soul to become famous, how are they able to enjoy their fame if their soul isn't there? Or do they just get a Klingon reptilian type of thing? Or are they replaced by clones? And if so, what happens to them and their soul? They're not even there to enjoy the fame and success, right? Okay, Elise, great question. And I've thought about this many, many times, and I've channeled and tapped into this, especially, when I was first really learning about the reptilians and the celebrities and really what goes on with them. So let me try and articulate this. There are many different variables that can and do potentially happen with certain celebrities selling their soul and reptilians taking over. There's many different ways that they can go about doing this. Okay, basically, and that includes clones and some crazy conspiracy theories that are actually true. But ultimately, here's what most likely happens when a celebrity says, okay, I'm ready to be famous, I'll give away my soul. And they've got to have all the right, DNA and genetic makeup and positioning and what have you. So basically what happens that I've witnessed and seen is that their soul in their body takes kind of a back seat, and that reptilian soul, there's a blood and sex ritual that comes in, right? Some sort of sacrificial ritual that has to happen in order for them to say, yes, I am consciously signing away my soul, and by doing so, you're going to videotape me doing some pretty nasty things, whatever that blood and sex ritual is. Therefore, they, being the elites, have blackmail over these celebrities. So if they're ever like, you know what, nope, this whole Illuminati thing, not really my style, I'm backing out, they can't. Because then these videos or tapes or what have you would get released, right? And honestly, I think it's a big bluff, because there probably should have been a lot of videos and tapes and things released that never were, because it would feed the awareness of the whole system, right? So it's very interesting. So basically their soul takes a back seat, and the reptilian attachment soul integrates into the body. Sometimes there's technology that allows them to shapeshift from a human body into a reptilian body. So that's technology. Sometimes it's a clone. Sometimes it's a reptilian who can just now take the body of the... there's so many different variables. But essentially, at first, that person, that soul who has sold their soul to get fame and money, the soul is still in the body. So it's like they're sharing the body. So all the fame and the money and the girls and the whatever, they get to enjoy at first. Eventually it just gets less and less and less so, and eventually the soul is kicked out completely of the equation. And then that can go into maybe a full cloning, situation where their soul doesn't even need to be present. If the reptilian is coming into the human body, the human soul, in a sense, always has to be there, because it's what anchors the body into the earth, right? Because the reptilian energy is more in fourth dimension plane, it's almost like they need a soul that's vibrationally attuned to the body in order for them to take over the body. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm just going to leave it at that, but hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, but there's so many variables, it's kind of difficult to talk about. Okay, so Trisha, okay. So yeah, you go into a little bit of a rant, but this is good. First of all, what is at the bottom of the ocean, the Galactic Federation base? We're going to get into that. And then sorry in advance if this is long. I frequently get visited by beings that claim to be an archangel. Not sure if this happens to everyone. My most recent encounter, he said to me, "Are you sure you're ready?" When I said yes, he showed me this scene of what looked like thousands of demons or entities in this dark place that appeared to be an underground cave. And then it turned into a battle between them and beings of light. He indicated that this was in our future, but it had already somewhat began. Okay, fantastic. So I just want to say that the battle between worlds, the battle between the light and the dark, has been going on for quite some time. The battle in the astral realm has been going on for quite some time. I don't want to say for like hundreds of thousands of years. In a sense, out there in the universe, there has been a light and dark battle and many different wars being waged throughout the years. I'm talking specifically about the astral battle that has been going on behind the scenes within the astral plane on this planet. It's been going on for many, many years, okay? I don't know how many years, but I remember back in 2011 being introduced and fighting alongside of many of these light beings, fighting the dark forces, right? These dark force agendas have really ramped up. As you guys know, they are pushing as much as they can in the physical, as well as much as they can in the astral to take down the light, right? They feel like there is still a battle to be won. They do not realize that we have already won the battle, but they are still fighting. They are still trying so hard to fight this battle, okay? So that means psychic attacks, and that also means like physical limitations, like mandatory vaccines, mandatory mask wearing, the shutting down of countries again. I mean, it's wild what's going on at this time and what the agendas are, right? So the New World Order agendas and the 5D New Earth agendas are going on and playing out simultaneously right now. It's going to get to a tipping point, just like you are going to get to a tipping point in your own life where you have to choose 3D or 5D. You can't keep playing both games. And it's fine to do that, but it's also exhausting, as you guys know. High highs, terrible lows, you're back and forth, you don't know what's what, right? So it can be quite difficult. That's what's happening. It's already happening. This battle is already taking place. I said this a couple months ago, that a lot of you are going to feel exhausted because you're a part of these battles. You are a part of the warriors that are waging these wars, right? Okay, and then what is at the bottom of the ocean? I explored the bottom, or at least part of the bottom of the ocean, because it's quite huge, many years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because I was curious too, what's going on down there? There's got to be something else. And there was a huge base down there. There's many bases down there. Some are military, and some are interdimensional. Some are nefarious, and some are really positive and beautiful. Other than just seeing the way that they look in my astral body, I did not go into them and explore them. I really didn't feel a calling to go into them and explore them for whatever reason. A lot of them are so inaccessible that they're not really, it's not that they're not used often, but especially the government ones, they're not necessarily like Roswell, not Roswell, but Area 51. That's that's quite accessible on planet Earth, right? These ones deep down in the middle of the ocean, you go through submarine, or even I know for a fact that they have these underground tunnel systems that will shoot you almost at the speed of light to certain places in the world. And that's all like a deep state military sort of thing. I don't really know too much about them, but I know that they're there. I saw them, especially underneath the Las Vegas airport. There's so many tunnels under there. Anyway, I won't go into that too much. And then what else? Oh yeah, does the Galactic Federation know if elites work for the reptilians? Is there a relationship between the two? Absolutely, absolutely. The Galactic Federation has known that the shadow governments on this planet are run by the reptilians, and the reptilians run the governments on this planet. They've known that for a while. They've tried many times to kick off these shadow governments and these reptilian shapeshifters off this planet. And what did I see the other day? I feel like I stumbled across a video. Oh, this is what it was. Yeah, okay. It was one of these true crime things that me and my wife were watching. And it was like a really crazy true crime, you know, with a bunch of killing and a murder spree and what, I don't know why we really enjoy. I think it's the psychology behind it. Anyway, and so the man convinced the woman that he was an alien from outer space, but he was really a reptilian. And the woman also said that she was a reptilian as well, which was so wild. And they had this whole kind of cult type of system. I forget what their names were. But basically, oh yeah, she was saying, and she looked like quite, I don't know, just quite dark, right? And she said, this is our planet. Humans took over this planet. We were here before you. And I'm like just shocked because I'm like, this is it. This is exactly what I have seen and what I have heard from these reptilian beings time and time again. They believe that this planet is rightfully theirs. I don't blame them for feeling that way because they were here during the dinosaur era. They were here long before our species of human being were ever here. I don't blame them for thinking that this is rightfully their planet. But within the greater cosmic contracts, millions, if not billions of years ago, this planet was always meant to be for us, for this hybrid species. Anyway, so it's just really interesting, literally hearing it out of a reptilian's mouth. This planet is ours. We deserve to be here. You know, it was so wild. It was so wild, and good confirmation of what I've heard time and time again. And you just have to take compassion, right, for those beings. It's like, I get it. Like this, you were here first. I get it. You know, I'm sorry that we're here now, but we're meant to be here. We're supposed to thrive here. No longer can you be here and suppress us. If you want to be here for the collective. Be here for unity, right? If you want to be here. So anyway, it's kind of like, if you're going to be here, play by our rules of unity, of consciousness, of collective, rather than us always playing by your rules. It's time to switch up the game a little bit, right? Okay. Aishwara and reality, you've got two really good questions here. How many cosmic beings are focused on this planet right now, or how precious is it to be incarnated here at this time? There are so many beings that are all literally like they have popcorn, interdimensional popcorn out, just watching the show go down, right? Some of them are just neutral beings, and they're not necessarily for the light or the dark, but they're just curious with the experiment of planet Earth and curious with the experiment of humans. And so they're around. And then, of course, we have all of the beings who are here for our ascension and evolution and consciousness. They're here as well, and obviously helping us and intervening and assisting us. And then we've got the lower vibrational beings who are also all here, kind of also gathering their forces. But the thing is, it's very difficult for the dark side, right? These dark species in the universe to gather forces. It's like, hey, you're a different species, but you're in the same vibration. You're a different species, but you're in the same vibration. It's very difficult for them to gather all of these different species in low vibrational frequencies for one cause. And the reason why is if they're not all benefiting from that one cause, forget about it. They don't want anything to do with it. That's their biggest downfall. Their greed and their need for control and power is their biggest downfall, because they can never come together as a collective. They're always going to fight. They're always going to bicker. They're always going to want more. They're always going to want to win, even within their own vibrational frequency, right? Even within their own species, there are individuals who always want to win and get ahead. So it's just chaos. It's chaos frequency. But that's what fear frequency is. Fear frequency is chaos frequency, right? And then on the other side of things, with the light, it's like, hey, do you want unity consciousness? Yeah, I do. Hey, do you want unity consciousness? Yeah, I do. Hey, do you want what's best for the collective? Yes, I do, because that's best for everyone. My species benefits, your species benefits, that species over there that isn't even a part of it benefits, right? And we can all come together on the same collective path, the same intention. That's our strength. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even on this planet, our greatest strength is our numbers, is our ability to all say, I don't care what religion you have, I don't care what gender you're in, I don't care what language you speak or what culture or what country, right? Or what your skin tone looks like. Let's just all come together and agree that we all deserve compassion, that we all deserve free will, that we all deserve to flourish and to thrive. We can all agree to that because that's what we want for our children and our grandparents and ourselves. Then that's easy. It doesn't matter if you're a Trump lover or hater, right? That's why I'm saying time and time again, get away from the polarity of what is or what is not, and let's just all agree on one primary thing. It's collective consciousness, right? It's just unconditional love. It's the easiest thing to agree upon. And that is the thing that's going to skyrocket us into ascension. Yeah, okay. All right, another question here. What importance does privacy hold in 5D? I mean, one could easily astral travel and spy on their neighbors, and in fact, it's said to be natural that most people do this in the beginning. Is there any real privacy outside of this dimension? This is a very great question, and one that's quite thought-provoking, and one that I actually don't think I've ever been asked before, so this is fantastic. So is there privacy in 5D? No? Thanks, JJ, for that super chat. That's really nice. Is there privacy in 5D? I can't say yes, right? So let's just say no, there is no privacy in 5D, okay? When I was a kid, because I could see ghosts and spirits and energies and beings and things, I was always freaked out. I was always scared, and I'm sure a lot of you are in your own awakening, and probably maybe really are today as well. Can they read my thoughts? Can these interdimensional beings read my thoughts? Can my spirit guides read my thoughts? Can my grandma who's passed away, can she read my thoughts? Can they see what I'm doing all the time? Like, I felt so watched and so observed in a negative way, even in my teenagehood, that it really made me close off, right? Makes me think, okay. Yeah, it really made me close off. There was this fear there. So is there privacy in 5D? Not really, because you can really wiggle your way into the recesses of any energetic or vibrational frequency in this world, in this reality, which means that even in your own thought capacity, the vibration that you're emitting with your thoughts is not necessarily hidden or locked down, What I use for privacy nowadays in the astral realm is my invisibility cloak. Anytime I'm doing anything that I just don't want to be watched, just in general, like I usually don't want to be watched just in general, I'll put an invisibility cloak on. At least once a week, I will revamp my invisibility cloak on, our condo, on my dog, on my wife, on me, and I'll just revamp that, especially the work that I do in the astral realm. I also put an invisibility cloak on everyone who shows up to the Galactic Federation event. I put an invisibility cloak on me, and I just kind of protect the whole energy within that event because it's quite powerful. Okay. So the other thing too that I want to mention about privacy in 5D is there may not be as much privacy as we would like in 5D, and there's ways to get around that, but the beings who are in those astral realms, the beings who are ascending into 5D, they do have respect, right? The only beings who do not hold respect for privacy and other things are those lower vibrational frequency beings. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The higher the vibration you are, the more difficult it is for low vibrational beings to even be in your space. Like right now, my vibration, and even the vibration of my place with the art and the crystals and the plants and the whatever, the dog, right, is so high vibrational that entities and beings can't even make their way in. They can't penetrate into my place. Like I have this place locked down, right? So just understanding that when you're having a really shitty day or a shitty week, or you're really low vibrational, or you have those super negative thoughts creeping into your mind more often, that's a really good indication that I'm like, I'm not in full control of my conscious reality, and I'm not in full control of my astral or energetic frequency. So I'm going to just lock it down. I'm just going to put an invisibility cloak around myself. Okay? And it's as easy as thinking about putting the invisibility cloak on yourself, and it's instantly put on. Okay? Your thoughts, your intentions immediately create a ripple effect into your reality. It's that easy, guys. Okay? But you also have to trust and believe in it as well. Good question. Thank you so much, Aishwara. Probably butchering that name, but I'm trying. Okay, Angela Rukinski. As the planet continues to ascend and more people awaken and move into the light and dark beings are being removed, this is a great question. How does this affect the balance of polarity? If there needs to be a balance of light and dark, then when more people move into the light, do more move into the dark as well? Awesome question. All right, cool, Angela. I had this question years ago. I was really, I don't know why, I was really intent on getting this question answered because it didn't make sense to me, right? So initially, the Galactic Federation did not answer this question. I don't know why, but I remember for many years wanting to know the answer of this question. Probably around 2013 to 2016, I really wanted to know. I don't get it. If we're all ascending into light, but there always needs to be a balance between light and dark, then how does that work? That doesn't make sense to me. I originally thought, I'm like, all right, cool. If you're not going to answer it to me, then this is what I assume is going to happen. I originally thought that, and then they finally gave me the answer maybe a year or two ago. I originally thought that as we move into the light, high vibrational frequency, there are certain beings, specifically reptilian beings, that are going to be darker and darker and darker. So it means that a smaller amount of beings have a heavier or darker energy on the planet, right? And then it allows the rest of us to ascend. It's not the case at all. And now I'm realizing that they didn't tell me years ago because I simply wouldn't be able to comprehend. And it's not a super complex concept either, but now it makes so much more sense. Makes way more sense. Okay, this is what they told me. Once again, very recently they told me about this. They told me that this is so interesting. Okay. It's not that there's going to be all light and all dark. And the way that I was trying to perceive it before was very linear. It was very polarized. It was very like, well, if there's going to be more light, then there's got to be more dark, right? It's a very linear way of thinking. There's going to be black, there's going to be white. In 5D frequency, which is, once again, I don't think I would have understood this before. In 5D frequency, the light and the dark are together simultaneously. So it's not the fact that we're going to have all these people who are light on this planet and all these people who are dark on this planet. It's the fact that light and dark are going to come together in a divine, beautiful, balanced mastery within each and every individual person on this planet, so that we're balanced between both, so that we can master both, so that we can just be above both light and dark. Now, it's very similar, it just popped into my mind. Think about divine masculine and feminine energies. So if I said there needs to be a balance between masculine and feminine energies on this planet, it does not mean that we're going to have 50% of the planet female and 50% of the planet male. Ooh, I just got chills. That's what we had before, and it wasn't working. Obviously, we were also in an age of divine masculine energy, which really wasn't working, okay? But instead of having 50% of the population male, 50% of the population female, what we're moving into in the 5D frequency is every individual having the balance between divine masculine and divine feminine within themselves, so that once again you show up to the world, chills again, you show up to the world as a harmonized, whole, individual being that has everything. Therefore, you don't need to attract psychic attacks. You don't need to attract dark entity experiences, because you already have worked with the shadow side within yourself. You can have that experience internally. You don't need to complete yourself by bringing in something that you are lacking. Like just chills. So good. Does that make sense? When they told me that, like 2 years ago or a year ago or like a month ago, I don't even know when they told me that. It was recent though. It just so made sense to me. I'm like, oh my God, yes, of course. That's what 5D is, right? So it's both. We have both. We have it all. There's no lack. So powerful. Thank you so much, Angela, for that question. So epic. Okay. Another question here from Amanda Griffith. I was wondering if you had any updates on current timelines that we are in. I've been bouncing between feeling so grateful for where we are headed and then feeling the complete opposite of nothing is happening. Trying to stay in surrender and trust, but definitely getting overwhelmed with not feeling like anything is happening as far as the old system's collapsing. I totally get where you're at. I think a lot of starseeds as well feel like I'm not where I need to be, right? I'm not psychic enough. I'm not awakened enough. I'm not in my true divine career path enough, right? There's so many aspects of us that want to say, you're not far enough ahead. And it's not the truth. You are exactly where you need to be, okay? So please keep that in mind. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, I'm going to ask the Galactic Federation later this afternoon. So I've got my beautiful divine GFL channel happening today at 3 p.m. PST. And like I said, there's going to be tickets for sale for the recording, just $11 afterwards. So just keep in mind, if you don't have a ticket for the live event, no big deal. But a lot of you have told me that you feel something different during the live event. I think it's probably because when I connect to them, and it literally looks like this giant vortex that I'm creating to connect with them, you are all connecting to me, right, in that safe space, because I set up that safety, and I've got Sharma and a bunch of other light workers who actually do energy work on us while we're in that space. we're all connected, right, in that moment in time to the GFL. And the beautiful thing is when you are watching the recording, you can actually tap into that frequency and get connected to them at that same time as well. But there's a difference there. Anyway, I'm going to ask them about where are we at with the timelines. I know that we're okay, but let's just hear it from them. So I'm just going to leave that question, Amanda, for later today, really. Okay, so Chloe, 2 more questions here. How many active stargates are left on Earth from the previous Lemurian Atlantis installations, and how many have been installed or activated recently? And what are their current main purposes? Great question. So as far as a stargate, I call them portals or vortexes, right? So when 2 huge ley lines intersect on planet Earth, it creates this stargate energy. Now, I want to let you know that upon doing a lot of human history exploration in my astral body, it wasn't just the Atlanteans and Lemurians who went around the Earth and created all of these stargates and all of these vortexes. As a matter of fact, it was many other beings all over the planet who created these vortexes and stargates, especially with the ley lines, right? Working with the meridian grid system of the planet, which is also one of those topics. So right now, so many of them are being activated. I even got to witness firsthand the Great Pyramids of Giza being activated. It was amazing. It was like this woman years and years ago, probably around 2011, 2012, and she astral traveled into the Great Pyramids vortex, and it was amazing. It was like I could see her body, and there was a bunch of other astral travelers there too. We were all just kind of chilling, floating, sitting in lotus position, watching, this whole thing go down. And I saw her in her astral body, like totally stretched out, and there was this huge Merkaba spinning around her, and she was activating the frequency of the Egyptian vortexes, which was really powerful and really cleared a lot of the karmic debt that has been held there ever since. So they're being activated. Every one of these stargates, every single one of these portals or vortexes have a different purpose. Okay. They have a different purpose. So I can't really say what they're all for, but they raise the vibration of the planet, and they allow high vibrational frequencies to also come into the planet and to help elevate and raise up the frequency. So, so they're a lot of them are being activated. A lot of the Anunnaki ones are being activated too, because they did a lot of like Stonehenge and stuff. Those are all around big vortexes and stargates. Okay, and then before we get to our last question, which is awesome, and it's about the Galactic Federation and their opinion of humans, which is really funny. I wanted to say, I really need your help with the 3 different topics. So I have 3 topics for tomorrow's live video. Please let me know in the comment section, not in the live chat, but in the comment section below, which one you most resonate with and you want to hear tomorrow, right? I'm going to do them all eventually, but I want to know which one you want to hear tomorrow. So we've got Jesus, okay, a video about Jesus, but he's incredible. A lot of you have been asking me about Jesus. Let's talk about him. Also a video about, the other topic is about the grid system around planet Earth. What is it? Why is it there? How can we utilize it? Very interesting topic. And then the third topic is about homeschooling, unschooling, how to homeschool or teach your starseed children the best at this time, okay? Jesus, the grid system around planet Earth, and then homeschooling your starseed children. What topic do you most want to hear tomorrow? Please comment in the comment section below, and then I'll review them and get something really awesome prepared for tomorrow, okay? Okay, cool. Last question here. Do different species within the Galactic Federation have varying opinions of humans on Earth? Do some admire us for taking soul contracts on such a dense, chaotic, and polarized planet? and do some view us as an over-emotional, unadvanced, and foolish species? And this question was from Jeremy Rollins. I don't know if I said his name already. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, a lot of the species that I've interacted with, especially who are a part of the Galactic Federation, even if they look not so loving or not so 5D or not so human, you know, and good looking, they are very compassionate, right? They really hold this space for human beings. Like, their main perspective that I've seen is compassion, because they understand that the majority of us, I don't know if it's majority, but a lot of us on this planet are just like them. We are high vibrational beings who all chose to come here at this time on planet Earth in our bodies. Most of them, even the ones who kind of like dismiss humans a little bit and don't like, okay, cool, you signed up for it, like you've got to deal with that. Even they have a certain level of compassion for us. And the reason why is because they also understand humans aren't just foolish. All of them know that we're not just a dumb species, you know, running around with our heads cut off on this planet. We are being controlled. We are being manipulated. We are being completely led astray by a whole other advanced species. We have been taught that we're not powerful. They understand that that's the dynamic. They don't think that we're just dumb and we don't know any better, right? Most of them have compassion to say, good for you, because I couldn't do it. They're up there thinking that because they didn't volunteer for a reason, probably for a good reason, right? I mean, what are we really doing here? No, I'm kidding. We're here to change it, right? We're here to change the frequency. We're here to finally take our power back. We're here to complete the karmic debt that has been created over generations, over lifetimes, over hundreds of thousands of years, right, on this planet and out there in the universe. They have so much compassion and gratitude and appreciation for us in being here. So yeah, if you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you have the bell on for notifications. A lot of you don't get notifications for when I'm live or what's happening on my YouTube. So make sure you do that. I really appreciate all of you being here. I will see a lot of you in a couple of hours for the Galactic Federation event, calling upon all of my Galactic Federation brothers and sisters. I'm super excited to see who comes through today and to ask some deep questions about what's going on planet Earth, what's going on with the election, is there anything else you can tell us about politics, and really, you know, what do we all need to do at this time to prepare to be as aligned as possible in the highest vibration as possible. Love you all so much. Keep up the good work. I'm so freaking proud of you. You found yourself to this channel and to me for a reason, and it means you were on the right track. So stop being hard on yourself and stop doubting yourself so much, because you're here. You've made it. You're at the finish line. Stop trying to run another race. It's time to relax and sit back and set intentions for what it is that you want in the new year. Bye for now. See you tomorrow and see you later this afternoon.